Good morning, everyone. Brian here with BMK Retro Gaming. This morning I have a review for you guys of the Atari VCS 2600 unreleased prototype game, Good Luck Charlie Brown. Now, it was developed in 1983 and kind of ran late because it was still being worked on in 84, and likely due to the 1983 video game market and industry crash in the U.S. market, or the North American market, is why it probably wasn't released. Anyway, it's a pretty simple game. Not quite near complete, but pretty close. It's missing a few things, but not so much. And we got Snoopy and the Red Baron, but yeah, one featuring good old Charlie Brown would also have been nice and a good seller in the library. So anyway, I've got it to emulate via my Hyperkin Retron 77. So I'm going to go ahead and get that set up, and we're going to take a look into the gameplay. Okay. Okay, so here we go in prototype games. There we are. Okay, so in this one you are Charlie Brown trying to fly your kite without hitting any obstacles or the kite-eating tree. Which apparently the tree on the right does not eat your tree, so it doesn't seem to. And the kite-eating tree will end your game, whereas although it's not programmed right here, I don't guess, basically that would be a game over, but hitting any other obstacle is just supposed to cause a freeze for some seconds before the game kind of resets. Though it kind of does the same as a game over in this one. Basically, your objective is to not hit any obstacles or the kite-eating tree with your kite. Now, if you were to hit another obstacle, there's supposed to be another part of the game programmed in. Ooh, kite-eating tree does happen to work down that way. And then Charlie Brown ends up upside down to imply the game over, which is kind of a hilarious way of reminding us that Charlie Brown is kind of a hard luck character with a lot more bad luck than good luck. Darn you. Anyway, the delay that's supposed to happen for other obstacles being hit or encountered like that, beyond the kite-eating tree, is supposed to take you to, or was supposed to take you to a second part of the game which was not programmed, which would be where Charlie Brown has to rake leaves, apparently, to earn money to buy another kite, which I'm not sure, but I think either the Peanuts magazine or the show, there might have been a point at which he either states or we learn that that's how he gets the money to buy his kites anyway. Or I could be totally wrong and that it was just something clever that the Atari developers decide would make sense to include in the gameplay to, explain how Charlie Brown would get to another round and another attempt at successfully flying his kite. Basically, the meter down below seems to basically just show how long, what direction you're in and your kite string. I can tell. Or it may otherwise be a wind gauge, I guess. And basically you move left and right to move Charlie Brown around, while up and down on your joystick controls how far out your kite is going or not. You also get flashes of what seem to be lightning in the background, especially when the kite is up around the higher cloud cover. And basically there's no music or sound effects as of yet, but that's usually among the last things to be added to a game in its development, so kind of makes sense there. Anyway, if the game consisted of just the basic kite flying, and had some sound effects or music, or both, it would be a pretty well close to complete game. It'd be a simple game, but Charlie Brown is an iconic character, and was pretty popular even back in the 80s. And also, yeah, this would have been a seller for Atari. Kind of like the game Garfield, or Garfield on the Run I showed you guys, last Atari VCS 2600 prototype game. It would have been the right direction, if not for the 1983 North American video game industry and market crash. We could have had some other good games that would have been pretty decent sellers and could have been some big hits for Atari. They were thinking the right direction, just didn't get there. It would have been part of the, I believe, the Children's Workshop series of games, which Snoopy and the Red Baron was a part of, and this was supposed to have been the last one in development for that one, so. Now there we go, kiting a tree, 3 minutes, 34 seconds, which isn't too bad. You guys can kind of tell if you're sitting here trying to time yourself without anything happening, which seems to be the objective of the game. That wouldn't be too bad. And as far as I know, the time is what's tied in with your score. Anyway, I think you guys pretty well get the idea with the gameplay by now. Apparently, the original cartridge was discovered at a flea market or such in the 90s, and that's how this game, I think it might have been 96, and that's how this game came to public knowledge. Of course, it's kind of like the other prototype game I showed you guys, Garfield, or Garfield on the Run. Since they were prototype games, good luck getting your hands on an actual physical copy. But the seller who sold me the reproduction cartridge of Princess Rescue on eBay had also been making reproduction cartridges of some Atari VCS 2600 prototype games and selling them, including Garfield on the Run and Good Luck Charlie Brown, so you can potentially own a physical copy of them that way. Again, I'm not going to endorse or consider reproduction cartridges to be on my good side or to be a positive, as they are a direct form of piracy, though with a seller like this who's not trying to pass it off as the genuine article and being straight up front with you about the fact that it is a reproduction cartridge and just making a copy of the game so people can have one, I can give that a hard pass, especially for games like Princess Rescue, which were discontinued and you're almost entirely unlikely to ever find a physical copy anywhere anyway. the ones he does of prototype games which weren't released. Well, that's actually a good use of making reproduction cartridges. So again, it happens to be a hard pass on that one, but one I can consider to be acceptable, or at least partly acceptable. So other uses for a reproduction cartridge, I wouldn't be on board with. A lot of times, like I said, it's a direct form of piracy and completely dishonest. And of course, they're not even in the case of ones like this one or Princess Rescue I bought. They're not really worth anything more than gaining the ability to play your game, but if that's what your objective, that's still a nice idea. So anyway, if you enjoy my channel's content, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please leave them down in the comment section below. I enjoy hearing from you guys, and I'm open to feedback, whether positive or negative, so go ahead and do that. You guys take care, have a good morning, and I will see you again in my next video.